Good display. Yes, straight out of Niagara. Brought me in Baghdad when I was 27 years old.
Okay, I could hug you too.
No.
That'd be more than that.
Back? How you doing?
So beautiful.
Children cannot come to the world. He just reminded me about 2-3 hours ago, after I read it, I was very angry about the cemetery. So I told Africa to mention
There's Dayo Laoye. Where's Dayo?
Yeah.
He refers to himself as a painter. And I always thought that was very humble because I view Laoye. I'll get it. Yeah. As much more. To me, he's an artist, but he's very humble. And when he speaks, you'll be able to hear that when he speaks. And what we're going to do now, consistent with our tradition and our culture, is we're going to have Oye Kunle lead a libation.
Okay. Before I get started, I see a couple of things to kind of frame this. As you can tell already, this is an exhibition of females, of women. In the sacred literature of the Yoruba culture, one of the verses talks about, and I'll paraphrase, without women, rain could not fall, plants could not grow, healing could not happen, and children could not come to the world. So I will do a libation to the ancestors, and I will salute the main female deities, and ask for their blessings and to keep away all negativity. For me, tutu. I'm not tutu. Sure. Tutu. Sure. What you about low to mine? Oh, by Terry, what you about tea? What you about tea? What you about there? Get there, fuck it. What you about room out there? What you about room out your cool? What you about room out your cool seat? What you about calling in? Room where you room there? What you about cool that? What you about shit that? What you about gungun about right here? What you about gungun about right here? What you about gungun about right here? What you about gungun yeah? What you about gungun about right here? What you about yeah moya? Who brings life to the world? The deity that brings life to the world. What about Yah? The deity of transformation, that makes things, the deity of evolution. What about Shun? The deity of creativity and fertility. I share Riku Bawa. Egbe, already Boko Imonta, Lori, Wow, Nico Jassi. I share. Fuani, Lafia, Fumani, Aiko. Kosi ku, kosi room, kosi asan, kosi ashishe, kosi jokosi wahala. Kosi petipo, kosi kobo, kosi ashilu, kosi lopo, kosi ailo, kosi bobo ajuku. I share Benny. Thank you.
I thank you all for coming. I moved to Chicago. There are a lot of folks here who've been around my work from my first exhibition here. The first exhibition obviously was when I moved to Chicago. I don't know anybody in Chicago. I left for a specific reason to start a new life here, and obviously it's safer for me to start in a cold weather so that I could be safe. So when I came living in YMCA down on Chicago and Dearborn, I strolled to window and Baba Munia, who's an Orisha man, introduced, and Baba Orisha, an Orisha man, introduced me. So, well, there's one of your brothers in High Park. Mind you, I came with flimsy leftover money. I didn't have any job. I thought it would be easy for a gallery to pick my work and then I start rolling. I didn't know the politics of being picked as an artist, if we may use that term. I think nowadays they say we can't put black on when things are not going well for you. You can't put black. Why? We have a president who's black. So anyway, Baba Patrick was kind enough to create a space for me, even though in his store there were many people working in a small store. But they said that they don't have a toilet cleaner, so they needed a toilet cleaner, they needed an errand boy and somebody to tidy up and run errands. I was very available, so anything that could add to my little money to pay, at least buy hamburger every day, I was able to do. But in a serious note, we won't be here if Baba Patrick have not supported me in the beginning. And where I was going is that my first exhibition was at Window to Africa, and thanks to him, and thanks to eventually when I moved out of Window to focus on my career en masse, it's the people that I met at Window, your clients, that became my clients, and that was the foundation of me calling this a business or calling it a career. So to that I say thank you to you. And to those of you who have followed my work, you will notice that mostly what you see on the doors, the Orishas, which is who was just saluted by Baba Oyekunle. The Orishas were my first endeavor when I moved to Chicago in 1990, because after I met people like Baba Oyekunle, it then dawned on me, I never knew there were Africans who still are in tune with their culture outside Africa. Unfortunately, I was very ignorant. I didn't know that much. More so those who live like Yorubas, whose homes smell like my grandparents' house. You walk into their house and you see altars and shrines right at the door with live objects right there, and it smells just like my grandparents' home. So it really got me so well that I started the series in praise of the Orisha. They are called Ilekun. Of course, we all know what doors are. They protect and they open an avenue for another realm, so to speak. The doors were picked from Bronzeville for specific reasons. At that time, Bronzeville was being redeveloped. So I thought that the connecting point of Africans outside Africa through Bronzeville, and then of course with my painting, we have a connecting point. So that's what led to my early works. Now, it occurred to me through the last 20 years, building collectors and what have you, I've heard people say that Dayo just do flimsy work because that's what they see. They think it's easy to just splash colors. So I thought a few years ago that I probably need to go back to my academic training to see whether I'm not rusty. Luckily, there are other artists in the environment and dealers, especially Baba Osbar, who know that after a while, if you don't do what you used to do, like landscape, still life, and of course live drawing and painting, you get rusty. So I was very curious to see how I look at a human figure, whether I could still see it that way, or whether I could render what I see. So that's what led to this series. Then I thought, even if I'm going to do figures, there should be a reason for doing it. So most of my works focus on women. And I thought probably I should salute women first with my rendering of a human figure. So the honor I've gotten from these models is so tremendous that I have more than 30 beautiful women who have posed for me. The series emphasizes my observation. We live in a world where we all want to look like somebody else. A beautiful and great personality that just left was one of them. If you're not careful, when you're in a community where one's self-esteem is not strong, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, one will stray out of it,